and welcome back to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing Detective Comics issue 949. So, yes, I do know this is a little bit late. I am sick, so I'm playing catch up, so I thought I would review this and upload it before I review 950. So, it is coming. Don't
Wait,
judge
if you're
me.
playing catch up, is that why you're wearing a red shirt?
No, I'm wearing a red shirt because it's Reptar.
But catch up's red.
It's Reptar. That is why I'm wearing this shirt, because Reptar's amazing. Anywho, Rugrats fandom aside, Detective Comics issue 949. So we continue on to the Batwoman Begins storyline. So we go back into a flashback of the early days of Kate Kane being Batwoman. And again, she's collecting as much intel as she can about Batman. She's trying to get in touch with Batman. She's trying to decipher what it is that makes him him. What drives him? What's his motivation? And so one night, Batman just decides to give her a little bit of a visit. And she pulls a gun on him. So he asks her, "You've been hunting me. You've been watching me for weeks." And he wanted to know, who did she work for? And she said she works for herself. So of course they get into a fight. She ends up shooting him in the leg. And they get into the fact that she's just trying to figure him out. And he knows that she's trying to be a superhero. She's calling herself Batwoman. And he wants to know why. That's something that she herself is trying to figure out. And she's saying that she's not that complicated. It comes down to it, war took her family. She lost one way to fight back, so she found another. Batman then starts in on her the fact that he doesn't use guns. And she's saying, well, when it comes down to it, he's a vigilante, and she's a warrior. And she's going to use whatever weapons in her arsenal she needs to. So, of course, we get back on into the current timeline in the Belfry, where we get to see Colony Prime fighting both Batman and Batwoman. And he believes that he's turned the Belfry against both of the Bats. And he believes that he's going to win this fight. He believes he's gotten the upper hand on both of them, right? He's kind of talking out his ass about how pathetic Batwoman is, the fact that if she had stayed on the right path, she could be the Prime, and that he's there to collect her father. So he continues on through their base, and he finds his way into the Mud Room, which the Mud Room, if you've been reading Detective Comics at all, you'll know that it can kind of just twist however it wants to and form to fight whoever's there, however necessary. So he gets to fight not only one Batwoman, but he gets to fight an entire gang of Batwomen. And of course, she's saying that all he needs to do is find the real one. I mean, if she's so weak, it should be simple, because the Mud Room has amped up the rest of them to be as strong as physically possible. So he kind of gets his ass handed to him. And we go back and forth with her telling him exactly what made her who she is. And this is her standing up not only against what her father wanted her to be as Prime originally, but also her standing up for who she wants to be as a hero. So this comic is very much her deciding to come back into her own right. This is her reemerging into her own new book that's going to be coming out this next week. So, of course, great issue to pick up. But Prime as he's escaping, decides to inject himself with some of the monster serum that we dealt with on the Night of the Monster Men. You read that at all? And it turns him into this horrible creature. And, Batwoman goes for the kill shot. Doesn't really pan out. But when he's leaving, he says he's got to admit it. Her dad was right. There might still be a soldier in her yet. So, of course, he escapes, and we get to see another very simple discussion between Batwoman and Batman. And they get to go back to the very first time that they met. The very first time she met Batman face to face, and they actually talked. And she said it was funny because soon after that, she was invited to a lunch with her cousin Bruce. And he had a very slight limp in his leg, the very same leg that she shot Batman with. And she knew right then and there that he was Batman. And she knew his motivations behind it. She knew he was testing him. And everything kind of changed after that. So then we get to see, once again, another conversation between her and her father. Very same way that this storyline started out was a conversation between her and her father trying to map out Batman and trying to understand how she was going to become Batwoman and what her motivations would be behind it. Well, ultimately, she decides that she's not going to be Batman. She's not going to fight against crime. And she's not going to be able to end all war. She understands that. But what she's going to do is she's going to battle against war. And she's going to give it her all. So this is her emerging into her own book. This is an introduction to it. I thought it read quite well. I loved the art throughout. If you're not reading Detective Comics right now, you definitely should. It is a must read for any DC fan. Not only do we have a huge overarching Bat family going on throughout, but, just great new villains, great storylines. It's reading quite well. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. If you're not enjoying this book right now, I don't know what's wrong. But I'm loving it. Give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you read this issue and if you enjoyed it as much as I am. So, subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of the older videos I have up for offer here on Catherine Figures. Like I said, I am doing catch up with a lot of reviews. Hopefully my voice clears up soon and I'll be more active throughout, but I am trying to play catch up, so, we'll see how that works out. Until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.